Just back from IT Nation Europe. What a fantastic event. It was in London, United Kingdom. It's early March 2025, and it was a sold out event. ConnectWise did an incredible job. So many partners, so interesting to hear different perspectives and different kind of ways on how MSPs are operating in Europe. Still have the same problems, but just a little bit of a twist. But I ended up doing 10 conversations, interviews, podcasts. There was 2 other podcasters there. It was just a great event. My first conversation with Paul Croker, another podcaster, really fascinating gentleman. I'm so glad we met. Sean Larda was next, of course, with his recent promotions and everything he's doing with IT Nation. Always love catching up with Sean and talking about IT Nation and Pitch It. Heather Alford, oh my goodness, what a great conversation with Heather. She is somebody you're going to get to know and somebody you're going to really like. Paul McNeil has been at ConnectWise for a while. He's from Australia. Interesting transformation from MSP to a vendor to now with ConnectWise. James Grant, fascinating gentleman there in the UK with Vodafone. Dan Scott, the MC of the entire event. They're heading up Europe of IT Nation. Really lots of energy. Great MC. Really made everybody feel at home. Patrick Beggs, of course, the CISO, ConnectWise. Always interesting to peek into security and to his life. Peter Kajawa runs all of IT Nation and the many plates he's now spinning and why he likes wine so much. Mikhail Stefanko, fascinating MSP from Slovakia. Fascinating man and what his issues are there. And I can't wait to see what happens with him. And then I finished out with episode number 600 with my good friend Austin Clark from Scotland. And we talk about his MSP and his challenges. Great event there in London. Manny Ravello was there, a lot of the keynotes, a lot of information and time well spent with partners, with vendors, and with MSPs there in London. Hi, I'm Joey Pins, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. I found myself at 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. I took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People ask me, how'd you do it? What's the secret? I need to lose weight. How'd you do it? How did I lose the weight? Just one word, discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission? How do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision, growth through learning from others.
What is it about, you said you like gadgets, like tech gadgets. Explain what that means.
Tech gadgets means that everything what is new at the IT stuff, I simply somehow jump in. Yeah?
Really?
It's sometimes terrible because you are with some topics already quite familiar. You are using, let's say, some brand of the routers or whatever, and then someone come with new sexy stuff. And you forget almost everything, jump in, and then you are playing with the new tools, new technologies, and this is something what I'm calling gadgets because it's phone or router or access points, whatever,
It doesn't
or
matter.
even cloud service,
And so just generally all tech, as a kid, were you exposed to technology? Were you exposed to phones and cameras and things like that?
Sorry, now I didn't get the question.
Do you want to connect with business leaders and engage consumers who take action? The Joey Pins podcast delivers high-impact conversations to an audience of decision makers, entrepreneurs, and professionals across multiple industries. A fast-growing audience of highly engaged listeners, both B2B and B2C. Millions of listens and views across YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Brands that sponsor us see real engagement, conversations, and brand loyalty. Whether you're looking to sell a service, promote a product, or establish thought leadership, our sponsorships offer premium ad placements, exclusive episode sponsorships, full season branding, and event partnerships. Don't just advertise, become part of the conversation. Visit us at joeypins.com/sponsor to get started, or email us at sales@joeypins.com. Joey Pins Podcast, where thought leaders, brands connect.
Were you exposed to a lot of technology when you were younger? Did you have access to that?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Yeah, my first computer I had at the school when I was at the that's college, let's say. And my first computer at home I had like 3 years later.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, if I wanted knew something, I came to my friends or to the school to learn something. And then once first computer was bought by my family, it was really like rented and paid for some long time. Then I really start to work very hard on it and learn and open it and remove the hard drive and the RAMs and all the stuff, so you can imagine. Yeah.
Really? So you like to take things apart?
Yeah, this is basically how I started. Yeah. Then once I learned what's inside, I learned how to build it up, and we started to build the computers for the friends first, and for the first customers, and basically this was the start of my IT career. Let's say, yeah, to building the computers for gaming.
And what kind of computer was it at the time? What kind of processor? How long ago was this?
It was like AMD.
AMD.
It was at the time where Pentium 4 was at the market,
Wow.
but yeah, it was expensive.
Yes.
But AMD did quite well. So at this time, basically.
Yeah, AMD took Intel out a lot of those ways. So was there a big demand for computers in your area?
Yeah, it's growth. Yeah, definitely, like everywhere, basically, and it became more achievable by the price. So as it was growing, then a lot of people wanted to have something as well at home, and yeah, it was fun basically for me. So with my friend, we decided, okay, why not to try to build it for the people. And
So we used to call them in the States white boxes. So they were just computers that we made that didn't have any labels on it, and we were our own.
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing. So you're from Slovakia.
Slovakia, yeah.
What should we know about Slovakia? I know very little about it. I'm from the States. I know we're here in London.
Okay, Slovakia is, let's say, heart of the Europe because it's really in the middle of the Europe. A lot of people, especially from US, know it as a Czechoslovakia because it was our history. So there was a state of Czechs and Slovaks together for a long time. We had a divorce, let's say, but not really. We are working quite well together. And it's great that we can understand each other. And we are in the center of Europe. So basically everything is close, let's say.
So Slovakia is former Czechoslovakia.
Yes.
Why change the name?
Because there was a nation of Czechs and nation of Slovaks who was putting together and work together because of the historical reasons.
I see.
So they can believe, let's say, and once both countries growed a little bit and their economies growed as well, they found that they are really two different nations.
Wow.
And they agreed to make this change. So it was not like some other countries where sometimes the wars or other conflicts are becomes, but it was agreement about two nations to make two separate republics, let's say.
And the capital of Slovakia?
It's Bratislava.
Bratislava. Oh, of course. And is that where you live?
No, I'm living at the, let's say, completely opposite side of the Bratislava. So basically my travel to London take as much time as my travel by car to Bratislava.
Wow. Wow. And how many national languages there?
There is Slovak only.
Only Slovak only. So it's the same language before Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, it was always like this. So Slovaks talk Slovak, Czechs talk Czech.
Yes.
The languages are similar. We can understand each other,
I
but
see.
it's different language.
So you speak Slovak.
Yes.
And people in the former Czechoslovakian Republic, they speak Slovak
Yes.
now.
And so all people who are living at the Slovak Republic now, so at the area of Slovak Republic, are speaking Slovak. Of course, we have some nations like Hungarian people living there, Polish,
Sure.
Czech, and other. So they are using their languages, but its official language is Slovak. And at the Czech Republic, they are using Czech.
And what else do we know about Slovakia? I mean, common exports, the art scene. Tell me, paint the picture.
I think
for me.
from the industry point of view, now the most visible part is car industry. So a lot of companies as well from the Germany and other are producing cars at the Slovakia.
Interesting.
So it's well known now by car industry, and from the cultural perspective, yeah, we have probably the most nice folklore ever you've
Really?
seen all over the world.
Folklore.
I was a dancer for a long year,
Whoa.
being dancing at a folk group and traveling all over the world. By the way, the States as well. We've been at New York, I've been at Mexico, Canada, Japan, and traveled quite a lot because
Whoa.
people love our folklore. Yeah.
So talk to me about the dancing. Is it kind of like line dancing? How does the dancing work?
No, we have a special costume, let's say. It's very dynamic. It's very it's fast, let's say.
Wow.
And have a lot of music, have a lot of singing in. So you can Google about the Slovak folk, especially from the east part of Slovakia. It's more dynamic and people love it. Especially at Japan, we had quite
Really?
a lot of people who love it. Yeah, there was like people staying in the queue. You can imagine, like you are the star which came somewhere, and people are waiting 1 hour to get the tickets.
Is that right? And why'd you stop doing it?
I'm simply too fat, old.
So when you were a child, you did this.
Yeah,
right?
basically,
Yeah.
I did it until I was, let's say, at the university. At this time, I was as well dancing at the theater, and I was doing this kind quite a lot. And then, of course, new generation came. They are great. They are doing the same stuff. They have a time and energy, and they are not so fat. Because this is quite difficult for your how to count.
Stamina.
You need to be trained
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make it.
And what are some of the would I know any of the foods there?
Foods, yeah. Well, let's say the traditional food, which probably everybody is talking about. If you talk about Slovakia, we are talking about the halušky. It's something like a cottage with bacon and halušky. It's difficult to say. I even cannot tell it to you. You need to
Right.
come to us. Yeah.
Almost
And
like
taste it.
hummus. It's not like hummus.
No.
Like crushed, yeah.
No. It's more heavy.
Halush.
It's some kind of not pasta. Sorry,
I will look it up. I will look
There's
it
something
up.
I'm not able to explain.
Yeah. Are there Slovakian restaurants here in London?
I didn't so, to be honest. I don't know about them.
Very
Maybe yes, but yeah, I have a cousin, so I can here living for
That's right, you
years.
said that, yeah.
So I can ask him, but I don't expect it very much. You can find Slovak restaurants at the US, for example,
Really?
because there are quite a lot of people who, at a certain time, was traveling to US and stayed there. And it was difficult here at Europe, and especially at New York, Pittsburgh, there are big communities of Slovaks, and so there you can find a lot of Slovak restaurants, for example.
So you get exposed, Michael, to a PC, to a computer in college, like you said. You end up getting one. You take it apart. How does this work? Did you do that with engines and cars too? Did you do that other places? You take things apart?
No.
Just a computer.
Just the computer somehow. Yeah. This was something what I somehow get to understand quickly.
I see.
There was some other things which, like car, for example, is for me only to have a key and understand when to fuel it in.
Yeah.
So I'm not so much in, but with a computer somehow it immediately came like I was able to understand the why and what happened if happened this.
Wow.
And as this became to me the clear, then it was really easy to grow in this area. Yeah?
And when you were doing it, so you started making white boxes. You started buying the pieces, combining
Mainboard,
it.
CPU,
CPU,
RAMs, and put
And
it
what
together.
software were you putting on it at that time?
Yeah, at the very beginning, it was let's say semi-official
I
Microsoft
see.
Windows
Yes.
XP or whatever at this time.
Semi-official. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
at the market we was growing. It was at this time, let's say, normal. I don't think there was a lot of people who was really buying any software or stuff like this. Expect maybe some companies, but at this time we didn't work with the company. I saw my first official Windows XP CD, like it really looks like 2 years later.
Fascinating. And so, were you selling it to homes or were you selling it to businesses, these computers?
Yeah, this started with the homes. Yeah, so we were working at home with my friend, building the computers, selling it to our friends. then suddenly one of the friends come to us and told us, okay, I'm working for the company. They are building the houses and doing the windows and stuff like this, and they want someone who can somehow check their IT and can manage it. And it was our first entry to, let's say, managed services or managing the IT for the company. And I know that we agreed at this time at the pauschal, so it's monthly fee for management of IT for €30.
Wow. €30. How long ago was this?
This contract is still valid, by the
Wow.
way, not with the same price,
Yes.
but we are still working with this customer till today, and it's quite nice collaboration.
5 years ago, 6 years ago?
15 years ago.
Oh, a long time ago. 15 years. Oh, of course, 30. And you never said if you need us, we'll come. You just said it's just a monthly payment and we'll do everything.
Yeah, basically it was like this.
Wow.
Everything was included, and even we was not able to understand what is expected as well. Customer was not really clear what was expected. They
Right.
just knew that they don't have an employee who is able to maintain this stuff, and we was able to understand this, but even we didn't understand business or what to ask for. Yeah, yeah.
And so you never did time and materials. So you never said, okay, we'll do this project, you'll pay us this, and that'll be it.
Yeah, later on, yes.
Later you went to that.
Later we came to this, like, okay, but now we need to think it. Of course, it was not able to cover even our costs. It was
Right.
nothing what can bring you any value. And as we wanted to bring any value to customer, and then came other customers. Yeah, and when second customer came, we already knew that it is not possible just tell, okay, it will be like 30 or 50, maybe now we can earn more. But we really need to somehow start to think about what we are offering, how much it would cost, and yeah.
And so you finally came, it turned out 15 years later. Are you still working with consumers or is it all business?
No, we completely stop end users. I think like 1 year later, maybe. Because we found out this is not the way for us, especially because of understanding of these people and the value we are able to bring. So at this point of time, because we did as well satellites, we did all the stuffs around what was around the IT tech, you can imagine. But later on, we thought, okay, this is our customer, so we are selling to business only. We are providing this kind of services, so we are not bringing furniture in. Because usually if you are there, customer asks you for everything. Yeah? And at the beginning, we was like, okay, you want lights? Okay, we will bring you lights. Yeah?
Wow.
But later on, we was really shaping a little bit and prepared the idea about what customer is we want to serve and what are our products. Somewhere about 5 years ago, I found out the MSP as something what, by the way, until today, I even didn't know it's industry.
Really?
It was just something what everybody was asking you, what are you doing? Well, like IT. But it's like if you someone asks you, what you are? I'm doctor. But doctor of what? Yeah.
Right.
So we try to somehow find what we are basically doing because it was naturally growing. It was not something what we basically planned to do at the beginning, but it grew in the direction, and then somehow we try to find out who we are and what we are doing. And as I mentioned, somewhere 5 years ago, I found what's Czech company, by the way, who start to talk about the MSPs and how this business looks like. And then I found, okay, this is very much similar what we want to achieve. And then we start to rethink again the things, try to package things together, make the different levels of the stuff. Started with ConnectWise, by the way, at this time, because we find out we need the tooling. We need to bring things together. We really want to do it professionally, not only like a reaction on something.
Right.
Yeah, so at this point of time, we started to really go in direction on MSP, and today I find out it's an industry. Yeah? So we are maybe part of the MSP industry.
You certainly are. So now, 15 years later, you said you actually have packages. Do you sell per user, per device? How do you package things to clients?
Yeah, currently we are packaging per device. So the main product, let's say, for the main area of interest is based on the device management. So we are managing endpoints, and endpoints should be like workstations or server, of course, based on this the price and products are based. And on top of this, we are offering to our customer like we will manage everything else. So we are managing, if we are managing your endpoints, like for the whole company, we do everything on top. So we are managing your network, your cloud, your 365, your security. And there are some hours included in this for the customer. So we have a service desk, we have a monitoring. We really learn a lot about how to do the things based on ITIL and other methodologies, which are probably the best practice. Yeah? And it's the reason why we are here.
Right.
We want to learn, we want to see other people, because, as I mentioned, we are at the east of Slovakia. It's not bad, it's perfect. We have an internet.
Yes, good.
We can be in touch with everybody, but you are usually talking just with the people around you. And I want to talk as well with other people who are doing similar business like we do. I want to learn because usually the trends which are now at the West are coming slowly, but coming to the Slovakia, and at the end we are global now. So the customers are same endanger at Slovakia as Ukraine, as US or UK. So basically our customers and businesses have basically same needs all over the world.
So, like you said, Michael, here in London, it's IT Nation Connect Europe. It's sold out. How did you hear about the show?
Somehow I started to read last year a few books, and I found out that if you want to grow, you need to at least see what's going on in the world. And I started to search for any conference which makes sense somewhere in the middle of last year. And luckily I found this. Even I remember I was involved like 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't somehow react on it. I didn't know this is something would make sense. But I see, yes. I found here a lot of good ideas, perfect people, and some giveaways for me, of course, which need to start to work on it, and hopefully we can a little bit change our products or add new features and stuff like this. Yeah.
What were your expectations coming here? Like, because you've never been to an event, even an MSP event at all.
Yeah.
So you come here. What were you thinking was going to happen, and did it meet your expectations?
Yeah. In reality, my expectation was that I can talk at least to one guy
Yes.
who is doing similar stuff like we do, and that I can learn at least one idea which can help to myself. And I thought to myself, if this will happen, then this will be successful. And yeah, it was.
That's wonderful. So I'm a former MSP. I started my MSP in 1993 and I sold it in 2019. And now I do a lot of consulting with MSPs and vendors and the podcast. So in the last 5 or 6 years in the US, it's been pretty similar when I ask them the 3 things that keep them up at night that they worry about. And it's pretty similar here too in the UK, I'm finding out. Number 1 is security. They're worried about their clients getting attacked. If they get attacked, they have to allocate resources, the client's down, it's a terrible situation.
Yeah.
They're getting better, the bad actors are getting better, and you gotta make sure you have tools and processes involved. Number 2 is human capital. They're worried if their engineers leave, how are they gonna replace them? How are they gonna get new engineers? It's a very tough market out there. And these big companies are paying a lot of money for engineers. And third is just general growth. How are they going to grow? Usually MSPs have technologists as the owner, and the soft skills of sales and marketing they're not necessarily good at. So they want to be able to grow organically or inorganically. Private equity has poured in hundreds of billions of dollars into this industry. And some MSPs, their friends are selling and they're buying nice cars, and they say, well, I need to grow and I need to be able to do this. So those 3 things, do they ring true with you?
Yes and 9. Let's say the security is, of course, the point number 1 all over the world, and basically this is the reason why our customers are working with us, because they need someone who can help them to solve this. And security is on the first place, not only for the managing of customers, but as well managing our internal stuff. We are small. We are 4 people now, by the way. Yeah, so we are really small. And as we was growing through the years, the old habits stayed there, and sometimes it was and is still very difficult to bring new things, new standards, change the things in a way they are secure, but we are very much on. This is my priority number one. So keep secure ourselves and then keep secure customers. And the only way how to secure customer from my point of view is backup. I don't see any other, let's say, possible solution, because every solution can be somehow destroyed or attacked, and you can protect them in a certain degree, but once you don't have reliable backup, there's nothing. So our focus is really on doing the backups, doing them good in a secure way, and control every single day that those backups are there working, and we are able to use them if needed.
How about number 2, human capital? You said there's four of you, but if you want to grow, is there a big market to bring more on? How do you train your people? Is that
Training is mostly done on demand. So we are searching for what we need to know. A lot of stuff we are learning from YouTube, from the internet. Of course, some vendors like Microsoft, like ESET, with whom we are working quite a lot, are requesting to be trained in the direction. So we are doing it, but as we are 4, it's not so difficult. Everybody can take one or other part, and with the new people, to be honest, it can be really difficult.
Yes.
Really difficult, especially because the Košice, which are the city near to Prešov, where we are located, are so-called IT Valley. There are a lot of international IT companies located there, so they are a little bit, let's say, changing the prices of the people. There are companies like Deutsche Telekom, like a lot of other. So you can imagine that, let's say, the salary in this area is really growing, and it's difficult to find good people in affordable price.
Are you able to work remotely? Do you have any remote employees, or are they all physically on site?
Yeah, basically we are all located at the same place. We are able to work remotely. But currently everybody is coming to office. We are located a small house, let's say very familiar stuff, and it's very comfortable to work there, because we have already our basement there. So you have everything what you need, starting from the coffee, which is absolutely necessary to start work, and ending with the all cool stuff like having barbecue or stuff like this.
Very nice, yeah. In your notes, Michael, that you were coming to the podcast, you put organic and inorganic growth as your concern. So that's number 3. How do you think you're going to be able to grow?
This is something what I completely don't know. It's another topic I really want to see here, how it works. I have in my head a lot of topics which probably need to be done if we want to grow somewhere. With this, of course, a lot of questions are coming, if really grow, and if yes, how. So we don't, let's say, overgrow.
Right, that's another issue.
And so currently, let's say, as we don't have any marketing, we don't have any sales, those, let's say, topics are basically most on myself. My colleagues are doing technical stuff like me, and I'm talking to the customers. Usually, I didn't need to come to customers. Some customers came to us because of the reference of others.
Wow.
And this somehow is going in the way that makes sense, that we are able to cover new customers. Now we are onboarding new customer, quite biggest for us. But we are able to do so because we are not doing onboarding of other 3. Yeah? So maybe it makes sense to start to do a strong marketing, sales, a lot of stuff. But very probably we will be not able to cover it. And with such growth like we are doing now, I see that we are progressing, not so quick, not with outcomes which are probably expected at this area. But at least it makes sense, and it works so far.
Is there competition?
Yeah,
Are there other MSPs in your area?
there are a lot of companies which are doing IT around, quite a lot of. I don't think that a lot of them are in the MSP direction or thinking now.
I see.
Yeah, so most of them are in, let's say, this legacy mode, which was before, like you are selling some hours and then your people are sold. Yeah, so this is, let's say, the most of the companies I know. We are already in discussion with few companies around the Slovakia, which we met at other conferences,
Oh,
especially
nice.
with the ESET, because ESET started as well, this
ESET,
MSP world, let's say. And with them, we are now in touch, and they are trying to build something similar like we do. Yeah, so there are a lot of companies, there's a lot of other people who are providing IT services, but everybody of us is doing it different, what is basically good as well.
And is there a possibility that you could merge or partner with any of them?
I don't know, to be
Right.
honest. Never start this this direction or discussion, and as well maybe the reason why not maybe for sure the reason why the growth of the PC Worms, our company,
Yes.
was so slow was that I was for 13 years working at the IT company as an employee. Yeah,
Right.
so I had like double work. One was my full time, another was my people working for the PC Worms, and I was just supporting them partially. What helped me a lot to learn about how enterprise IT works, to learn a lot about the methodologies and technologies. On the other hand, it definitely slowed down the progress of my own company. So like 2 years ago now, it's when I decided to, let's say, stop this employment and focus only for this area. So most of the experience and changes I did are done in the last 2 years. Yeah.
And how are you getting new clients? Is it just kind of referrals and word of mouth?
It's currently only referrals. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have any goals, Michael, as to like how many you want at a certain time? How many employees? Do you set like kind of growth goals?
To be honest, I had this in mind, and it's so much changing that I
Yes.
don't think it is a plan. It is something what one day I see like this, so one day I see like this, and I know already that is something what I at least need to vision, prepare in my head, so I know where I'm going. But to be honest, I'm not there.
When I talk to early MSPs and they ask for advice, I always give them 3 pieces. And the first one is to join a peer group. We talked about this when I first met you downstairs. When I joined a peer group, Michael, it completely changed everything, my business. All of a sudden, I was talking with people. We were in a room together every quarter. We were sharing ideas, things that I didn't do well, they were, things that I was doing well. So that was the first piece of advice. Second is to adopt a business operating system. Are you familiar with business operating systems at all?
Maybe you can explain me a bit more.
Have you ever heard of EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System?
No.
So that's the one we recommend, but there's many. But it's just a way to kind of set goals and have meetings and way to run your business as an operating system. My second piece of advice is to pick one of those and adopt it. I can recommend Gene Wickman wrote lots of books on EOS. It's a really easy way. The third way is to, where you need it, hire a coach. Hire somebody to help you. What do you think about those 3 pieces of advice?
Yeah, all of them make sense.
Yeah.
And very probably I need to look at every single piece of this. With this peer group, as I mentioned, I was downstairs now
Yes.
to learn a little bit more about them. I didn't heard before. So I made some pictures, especially with the names whom I need to get in touch. And
Yes.
I think I will jump on it, and let's see.
Yeah, that's a big one because
You see, this is the reason why I'm here.
yes.
This is the reason why I'm here, to find how people are doing things. And if it's already, let's say, prepared in the way that there are peer groups which are, let's say, really working on to help each other, then this is probably the way we need to go. Yeah.
I know I asked about goals. You haven't said any. But how old are you?
How old? 42 now.
42. Do you have any kind of exit plan? Do you think you're just going to keep doing this until you retire?
This is exactly something what I read like first time at the IMIF book
Yes.
few weeks ago, and yesterday there was a meeting or a panel group afternoon which I attend, and this is the pick I need to work on it.
Yes.
So to not work maybe so much hard in the company, but start to work on the company and find a way how to balance it.
And do you have any partners?
Not yet.
Not yet. So
No, we started as a 2.
I say.
And after a certain time, we agreed like it's not working. We had different ideas about the way forward. So at this point of time, there was a question about what to do with it, sell it or whatever. So I bought, let's say, the part of my friend, because we are still friends.
Yes.
It's very special in this area. So we are still friends. He's doing his different area now at the Horeca. So he's selling the vitamin waters and stuff like this.
Oh, wow.
More like a sales guy. And we are continuing in IT.
Wow. Yeah, sales, it's good because a lot of partnerships are very tough. Very, very tough. Because especially if you're friends and then you hope you could stay friends. Good for you that you were able to stay friends after that.
It's very unique because I know a lot of other companies, which, by the way, we are as well supporting, and I saw so many difficult situation. Those people are not talking to each other. There are lawyers in and stuff like this. So I'm happy that it came so early. We made it in the right way, and now we are still continuing in our friendship, and both of us are going own direction there.
And how about the vendors downstairs in the vendor pavilion? Have you ever talked to vendors like that before?
From those, no.
No, yeah.
Not from those. I know some of them. Some of them we tried. With ConnectWise we are working. But I found some new interesting stuff which we at least want to try and check how much it can fit to the portfolio or how to improve. I'm very much in the stuff around Microsoft 365 management because it's difficult to manage a lot of tenants, and we do. Yes. We have a lot of customers running at this cloud, and by the way, I'm very much on Microsoft. I'm the guy who loved all the stuffs around this. That's and playing with Power Apps and flows and everything. So I'm very much in, but it's really difficult to manage it across the different areas. And we are offering as well, or providing services as well for the schools. And at the schools, it's even more difficult than at the small companies because schools usually have hundreds of people, and you need to manage them like enterprise, basically. So,
yeah, Microsoft's a great company. I hope they don't find out about that Semi XP. When you were running XP for a long time, what'd you call it?
Semi-legal?
Semi-legal, yes. What is your biggest surprise here in London, coming to this ConnectWise event? IT Nation. Biggest surprise.
Biggest surprise? I don't think there was something what completely surprised me.
Right.
There are a lot of things which I very much like, but there was no like wow effect. Like I never saw it something like this. I like this new product which ConnectWise is offering, but there are a lot of tools. Let's say basically. So I'm at the very beginning I was very much on tool. What tool can do. Now I expect that to do what we need, but I know that we need to build services and processes around the tool. And once you are in, it's not so easy to change.
Yes, yeah.
Especially, for example, we are using Automate. By the way, great tool for automation. We are using it maybe for 30% today, not more, definitely. And if I can imagine now to take all the automation we have and try to bring it anywhere else, it can be a nightmare.
Yes. How about conversations? Are you able to talk to other MSPs here? How the conversation's been here?
Yeah, I found few. Unfortunately, not very much, but few of them. And we had really nice discussions, even a few minutes ago.
Wow.
And mostly active are, of course, the vendors who are here, and with them I spend most of the time of discussions. But this is basically what I want to talk with MSPs, to be honest.
Yeah, of course, you get most out of them. Michael, has there been anything in the last month or so that you changed your mind on?
What changed my mind? Yeah, definitely this ebook stuff and eMIF, book and books which are talking about how to change the business in the way it can be profitable and it can be sustainable and it can have some kind of system. Because this is something what I was as a technician, let's say, because I was, and unfortunately I'm still, more technician like owner or manager.
Right.
So this was something what is changing my mind, and I'm now investing quite a lot of energy to go this direction.
eMyth, yeah, that was a big changer. That's an incredible.
Yeah, I heard about this book several times, but I received it for my daughter now for the Christmas.
Ah,
And once I start to read it, I was not able to stop.
yes.
And it was like, where from he knows me?
Yes, yes. What does he call it when you want to become an entrepreneur? You get into an accident or something. I forget, but it's a really great book. What motivates you? What's your motivation?
Basically, what motivates me is my customers. Really, if I see that services which we are providing are making them happy and providing them way forward, so they are able to deliver their services, it makes me happy. I'm happy if I'm able to build up the solution. I'm happy if I'm able to see the outcome. Yeah? The biggest issue I had at this international company I mentioned was that to see your outcomes took quite long, and sometimes it was simply not there. Yeah? And with my small company, I can see really the changes. I do the changes. We are changing our customers. We are supporting them to move forward, to go from the old style ways to clouds, to share, to work, to be secure. This is something what I really like.
Your brand deserves to be in front of the right audience decision makers, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are ready to take action. That's exactly who listens to the Joey Pins podcast. Thousands of engaged business leaders and consumers tune in every week. Millions of views and listens across YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Sponsors see real impact, higher engagement, brand trust, and conversations. We offer strategic partnerships tailored to your goals, including targeted ad placements, branded guest appearances, multi-episode and event sponsorships. Make your brand part of the conversation. Let's grow together. Visit joeypins.com/sponsor to explore sponsorship opportunities, or email us at sales@joeypins.com. The Joey Pins podcast, where brands and thought leaders connect. Yeah, impact. So given that your motivation of helping your customers succeed, how do you measure success? How do you know when you're successful?
I don't know. It's just gut feeling, to be
Is
honest.
it really? Oh, your gut.
It's really gut feeling now. If I'm able to pay salaries, it meant that last month was good enough.
Wow. Wow. So I started my MSP in 1993, and I was working way too hard. I'm sure you work 14, 16-hour days sometimes, right?
Yeah.
You have to. And I wasn't paying attention to my health. You mentioned that you aren't dancing anymore because you got big. So I'm sitting in front of the doctor, Michael, and I'm at 340 pounds. So I converted that. So I'm at 155 kilos. And she says to me, "You're way overweight. If you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate." My daughter was just born. So it scared me, and I was upset with myself. So I spent the next 6-7 months. I lost 130 pounds, which is 60. I lost 60 kilos. And people ask me, what's your secret, how you do it? And I said, there's no secret. Discipline. That's how I lost it. Motivation, focus, etc. How does discipline play a role in your life?
Yeah, without discipline, I'm not able to do nothing, basically. I would even not wake up at the morning. I do my best to really make some reoccurring or repeating stuff, which I can... Routines.
Yes.
Because I learned at the previous work that routines is difficult to get, but once you are there, you are able to go, let's say, step by step in a direction. So I try to run my routines. To be honest, I stopped some of them because of the health issue, especially. So I was going to the gym with my brothers every second day. Now I'm waiting for the injury, which will be like end of this month. So I believe it will solve the issues and I can continue. But at the work, we are having as well some kind of routines which we try to keep. But I'm not so good in them like I was at the corporate and where we was running agile and morning stand-ups and all the stuff around there.
Well, I'm so glad we met. And thank you so much for your time. Anybody listening or watching and they want to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm at LinkedIn. Basically, this is the probably easiest way. Michal Stefanko.
Michal, Michael, and Stefanko, Stefanko.
Yes.
And I'll make sure I'll put it in the show notes. It was such a delight to meet you. Thank you so much for your time.
It was a really great time. Thank you
really
very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pin's Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypins.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pin's Discipline Conversations.